You are with the Breaker-Leggers, and we are in London at the Almeida Theatre
to see a new production of Hamlet.
So stay tuned to find out how many legs,
whether it's break a leg
or leg it. So Hamlet is written by
William Shakespeare.
Never heard of him. Maybe he's new in town. Apparently the play is about the Prince of Denmark getting revenge upon his uncle who has killed the prince's father to take the throne.
So, kind of like a non-musical version of Lion King. Directed by Robert Icke, who recently directed The Red Barn at the National.
And Mary Stewart here at the Almeida.
Both of those shows we reviewed earlier in the year, so do check out our videos for those.
His Olivier Award-winning production of 1984 is opening soon on Broadway, so he really is at the top of his game right now.
Juliet Stevenson is in the cast for this, returning from her fantastic performance in Mary Stewart.
Alongside Jessica Brown Findlay as Ophelia.
And in the title role is the phenomenally talented and gorgeous Andrew Scott.
Oh.
Most famous for his BAFTA award-winning turn as Moriarty in BBC's Sherlock.
After seeing much of Robert Icke's works over the past few years and learning that he has reassembled many of his creative team for Aristea onto this production, we're really looking forward to it, as Aristea was fantastic.
It was. And we also have some exciting news to share with you about Hamlet at the end of our review, so stay tuned. We'll catch you at the interval!
So we've come to the first interval at Hamlet.
Yep, 2 intervals for this one, so we have another act of around 40 minutes going back in, and then another 15 minutes, so we're going to be catching up with you twice in this one, lucky people.
Which means now it is time for the Breaker-Leggers 30-second interval breakdown. Go!
So, Hamlet is a manic depressive, trying to find a purpose in life.
Yes, he thinks that his father has been murdered by his stepdad, and he has hired a group of actors, and he's given the script to try and entrap the stepdad so that he knows for sure that he did it.
Some lovely performances. Andrew Scott is generally really fantastic, although sometimes when he pacing drops off a cliff, he drops off a cliff.
It's either up or down or very slow, sometimes very good. Ophelia is great, I like her a lot.
And Juliet Stevenson commands the stage fantastic poise. We'll catch you again in the next interval. Bye!
So we're back for the second interval. That act was only 35 minutes, so it's time for the second Breaker-Leggers 30-second interval breakdown.
Go! So, second act, not much has happened really, a little bit of drama. Hamlet's confronted his mother to try and tell her what's happened to his father. Now he's worked it all out. She doesn't seem that interested, and as a result, Polonius has been killed.
Yeah, it's kind of winding down a bit. I'm not sure if it's going to come to a big climax in the next act. Hopefully, possibly. Kind of ended with him saying, that's it, I'm going to turn my mind to bloody thoughts from now on.
No good deed goes unpunished. He's definitely had his Act 2 alpha moment.
See what happens. So we've come to the end of the epic that is Hamlet. How long was that?
Around 4 hours including the intervals, 2 15 minutes, so half an hour worth of breaks, 3.5 hours worth of playtime. It is a bit of a mountain to climb, both for the performers and for the audience.
So it's a long one. How did you find it?
If we'd never seen a Robert Icke production before, I would think it was fresh, I think it was dynamic, I think it was interesting and conceptually really kind of forward thinking. But because we've seen quite a few of Icke now, I found a lot of the ideas on it basic rehashes from some of his earlier works.
Yeah, I almost think the same, and I almost think the same of Andrew Scott as well. We saw him in a piece at the Royal Court.
Saw him in a piece called Birdland at the Royal Court, where he played a rising pop star that got himself into a controversial situation and found his career jeopardised as a result.
And he was phenomenal in that, and he is a fantastic actor. But I almost think that I've seen what he does, and he does that very well. It's very intimate. He really draws you in. you kind of really get sucked into what he's saying at times, and other times I just find it to be quite almost lacking any pace or any kind of passion.
So yeah, a bit of an inconsistent performance from him. Juliet Stevenson, fantastic performance. She is beautiful to watch. She has great poise, great, as mentioned before, just kind of captivating performance techniques, and a wonderful style to watch. I would definitely rush to see anything that she is going to be in the future.
In terms of the concept, as Simon said, kind of his style and the creatives team's style is all over this piece. So if you're seeing it for the first time, I imagine it's quite innovative, quite fresh and quite new. But we've seen it all before in terms of the screens that kind of are opaque and then transparent. Great the first time. Yeah. And then you kind of used to it.
Screens around the auditorium to project kind of fake news reels or timers, or kind of video links, and him using video cameras to stream into those screens around the theatre. We'd seen it before.
Yeah, so there's kind of like nothing new for us. I think if you don't know his works, then you would absolutely love his style of how he works. But I think for us it's kind of treading on old ground.
So, you're probably wondering, how many legs?
Wow. For Hamlet at the Almeida, we are going to give 3!
3 legs for Hamlet at the Almeida. It's not the worst way to spend an afternoon. If you've seen other Icke stuff, you're not going to get much in the way of originality here. There's going to be parallels drawn because they're both Sherlock actors between the recent Benedict Cumberbatch and the Barbican Hamlet, and Andrew Scott here. Very different takes on Hamlet. This one slightly more, at least tries to be slightly more edgy. If you can see it, do see it. And on that note...
On that note indeed.
Hamlet is playing here at the Almeida until the 16th of April, but it's totally sold out.
So there's no chance you can see it, right?
Is there? The piece is transferring into the West End. It's going to be playing at the Pinter Theatre later in the year, and tickets go on sale from April 6th.
So you're not going to miss out after all?
Yep, with 100 tickets for every performance, price less than £30, not going to break the bank either. Might be worth a gamble.
Absolutely, and if you do, make sure you have a coffee or a Red Bull to get you going through the epic of the production.
We're the Breaker-Leggers, and we are heading south now into central London to see Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf at the Pinter Theatre.
So stay tuned for our next review coming up so you can see what we thought of that.
We'll see you again soon.
Bye!
We are heading south now into central London to see Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.